Hello everyone. Hello. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Jenkenny's Creation. Here we talk about everything migration to Australia, living in Australia, and life in Australia. Okay, today we will be talking about genuine temporary entrance. This is one of the requirements for student visa application, and also admission requirement as well. Is visa requirement, application requirement, and admission requirement for schools. Okay, in the past, schools don't used to ask about genuine temporary entrance, GTE. So I'll be using GTE. When I talk about GTE, it's about genuine temporary entrance. So it's a big deal. It's a Another thing I want to say is that it's also possible that your previous qualification is not connected to what you're going to do. Let's use nursing as example, the almighty nursing. Meanwhile, I'm a nurse, I'm a registered nurse, a senior registered nurse in Australia. So when I go on social media and see people talk about nurses and nurses, sometimes I laugh. Some things they say about nurses too are just myths, okay? So most of them are not real, but is okay. So let's talk about the almighty nursing that is reigning. Okay, it's also because Australia has tightened that aspect too, that you cannot just jump and start doing nursing. That's why we advise people to come over with masters and see how you can change things over, because now you become in the country. Is onshore application, but when you are offshore application, that is outside Australia applying to come and study, that will be very hard for you to jump from one course to the other, like that are not connected, one discipline to the other that are not connected. Okay, but you can still meet genuine temporary entry. Let's use an example when they are not, your previous studies and the current one you are pursuing is not connected. Let's use an example for someone that studies geology as a first degree and a first degree and is working as a geologist. Okay, and all of a sudden something happened that you want to come and study nursing in Australia, you have every other thing. Then now the problem is how to prove your GTE. Okay, I said immigration is not something you rush. So this channel is to empower you. Go out there and get information. I am an immigration coach. I'm not an agent. Okay, I will bring out that information to you, but you need to do a work. So for example, someone that wants to embark in this journey from being a geologist to being a nurse, you will have a plan. Over the past 1 year or 6 months, there is a blueprint you are following. Okay, let's assume that you have a proof now that you have done a certificate, a training, maybe a 6 months training or a 3 months training in a hospital. Let me use a Nigeria for example. Nigeria health system, someone individual can easily open a hospital and a clinic, so it's easy for you to go and do a certificate there. You can also work there. Okay, provide a proof. Let's talk about proof. Proof is what is important. No one cares whether you are doing it. We need a proof. You provide a proof that you are working there as a part-time, even though you're working as a geologist full-time, that when you are off duty, you are working there, and on weekends when you don't go to work, you go to this hospital and work. You are working as an assistant nurse and you helping. Remember, you get a document to support them, your certificate, a proof from the owner of that hospital, how helpful your contribution has been, and also you've been volunteering to help so women or bleed people or sick people, that kind of a thing, in other hospitals and so on. So these documents now. And you can say that you study geology, you choose to study geology because this has always been ambition of your parents. Okay, so when you are studying geology, that, and because that's the only major qualification you've had, so you are now working on that field because that's the only qualification you've had. And now you have added some qualification, but not enough to be a registered nurse. You have gradually shifted to your own ambition, which is now your ambition, something that pleases you, something that interests you, which is nursing. And that is why you are finally coming to Australia to study that kind of a thing. but there will be a new video for about this type of one, or this aspect of GTE when your courses are not connected. It's not only about nursing as well. I'm sure you know there are so many other courses you can study in Australia, and there'll be multiple jobs waiting for you. It's not always about nursing, okay? Nursing too is stressful. Don't say that I said, okay?